What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth. It's Tuesday again. That means it's time for me to show you guys another section of my collection. This week we're focusing on row 1, section 5, which is this guy right here. Give me 1 second, I'll get these pulled and I'll show you what I got. As usual, I hope everybody out there is doing well and staying safe. Alright, let's get right into this. First up, we have a movie called The Apparition. This is a paranormal, supernatural film. I remember this movie being pretty good. It's been years since I've watched it. I think this movie's got a pretty cool scene in it. Possibly like a shower scene of the hands grabbing the girl. Not absolutely positive of that, but I think that happens in this movie. But I do remember that being a pretty good flick. Alright, let's see what we got next. Next up was a surprisingly good movie called Perfect Getaway. I don't want to say too much about this movie. It's got Mila Jovovich in it, and it's got Steve Zahn in it. What I will say about this movie is it is a serious curveball thrown at you in this movie. Very, very cool. Next up is April Fool's Day. This is an old classic. I did a review on this. I'll put a link to that in my description. Really cool movie. This is another one, if you couldn't tell by the title, that throws you a pretty significant curveball. Very cool movie. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. I've been watching that movie for years. Great movie. And here's one that I have not seen, is the remake of April Fool's Day. I picked this up somewhere along the line for next to nothing. I heard that this movie was absolutely awful, but that's the life of a horror movie collector. You see movies you know you're not going to like and you buy them anyway. Next up is Apollo 18. This movie was also really cool. This is they take a trip into outer space and they find something that they weren't looking for. Really good movie. Alright, next up, I absolutely love this movie, Apt Pupil. I put this in my top 20 for 90s films. I think it was 90s. What year was this made? Anyway, the top 20 for 2020. This was on my list. Very good movie. This dude was a Nazi. He went into hiding and this kid found him. Stephen King adaptation. If you haven't seen this movie, it's creepy as hell. You really should check that out. Awesome movie. Alright, next up is As Above, So Below. This is shot found footage style. Very, very good movie. Takes place in the catacombs under Paris, France. Awesome movie. I did a movie review on this one as well. I'll put a link to that in the description. This movie was surprisingly good to me. I thought that it looked good, but I was actually more entertained by this than I thought I was going to be initially. Okay, next up we have Ash vs. the Evil Dead Season 1 with that like hologram type case. Nice slipcover. I have Season 1, and I have Season 2, and I have Season 3. I might get roasted for this. Season 1 is the only Blu-ray. Season 2 and 3 I just have on standard definition. But like I said, I might get roasted for this. I have not watched one episode yet of Ash vs. the Evil Dead. My son has watched all of it, and he just raves about that TV show. He tells me all the time that I gotta sit down and watch that show. I'm way behind on TV shows that I need to watch. Last night, he and I sat down and watched the first 3 episodes of Creepshow on Shudder. That just came out on Blu-ray, for God's sakes, and we're just finally sitting down and watching it. So, I'll get to Ash vs. Evil Dead eventually. Next is one that I remember hearing things about this when it came out. I wound up buying this movie, and I have yet to watch this movie. It is either, I'm not sure if you pronounce that Aswang or Oswang. Let's see. This amazing gore fest was the first horror film ever screened at the Sundance Film Festival, where it caused a sensation in 1994. Oswang was immediately picked up for U.S. distribution, retitled The Unearthing, and cut for an R rating. After a brief theatrical release, nervous video chains refused to carry the film, and shocker all but disappeared. So yeah, it's telling me it's gory, it's telling me it's crazy, and I still haven't watched it. So maybe I'll pull this one and get my eyes around that thing. All right, here's another one. At the Devil's Door. This is another surprisingly creepy movie. This is ghosts and apparitions and so on and so forth. This is one of those movies that I never heard of when I bought it. And when I finally, this sat on the shelf for a long time too. And when I finally watched this movie, I was very pleased with that. I tried to get my son to watch that, and I think he got about 15-20 minutes into it, and he said, nope, and got up and left the room. Very good movie. All right, and this is another possession movie. This is The Atticus Institute. This is also very good. They have this woman, and she is being examined and experimented on. They're running experiments on her. I don't think experimented is a word. It might be, but who knows. Very good movie. Very surprise ending. I thought this was really good. Like $5 at Best Buy. Here's one of my favorite movies that I've seen in many, many, many years. Audition. I recently did a review of this movie as well. Probably a month and a half ago. Maybe 2 months ago. This is great. If you like Japanese or Asian horror movies, not sure if this was Japanese or if this was, I think it was Japanese, or if it was Korean, but I think I'm going to go Japanese. I think it was Japanese. Either way, great movie. Takashi Miike, awesome movie. Very, very slow burn, very big payoff at the end. Awesome movie. I can't say enough about that movie. I'd recommend that to anybody who likes horror movies. If you don't like gory stuff, don't watch that movie. All right, this is a movie that I read a ton about, and I had to get my hands on it. And after I watched it, I kind of felt like I probably shouldn't have bought it. There's not very many movies that just completely turned me off, but this was one of them. August Underground, made by Toe Tag. I believe the dude who created this movie, starred in this movie, did all the effects for this movie. I believe he is actually an instructor at Tom Savini's special effects school in Pittsburgh. Pardon me, I'm not absolutely certain of that. His name is Fred Vogel. This movie is very disturbing. There's really not a whole lot of plot to this movie at all. There's really not any point to this movie at all. But I read all kinds of hype about how nasty and grimy and gory and disgusting this movie was. And being the gore hound that I am, I had to see this thing. I don't want to say that this movie's not good. I don't want to say that. But if you are squeamish or weak at heart at all, you have no business watching August Underground. All right, and this is one of the movies that I picked up recently at Dollar Tree for $1. Aura. Haven't watched this movie yet. Gives Blumhouse a run for their money. That's a pretty bold statement. I said that on the review of this when I did my haul video. I'm not going to read the back of this one again, so I got to check that one out. Automaton Transfusion. I did watch this movie quite a while ago. It's been years. It's definitely a zombie movie. It says that it is the holy grail of independent horror films. I don't know about all that. I thought it was pretty good. It's definitely a bloody movie. Definitely an entertaining movie. Holy grail of independent movies, it is not. Good movie, though. All right, here's another one I can't say enough good things about. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Once again, this is another movie that I did a review on. It's on my channel. I'll put the link in the description. This movie's fantastic. This is one of the better movies that I've seen in a long time. Very creepy. You feel creeped out all the way through this movie. And this is a movie where the further along it goes, the more things become uncovered. And it's really, really good. If you can get your hands on this, or if I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I'm pretty sure it's on Prime. Watch this movie if you haven't seen it. It's absolutely worth watching. All right, and this is the last one. This is one I don't think that I've ever watched. The Awakening. I'm pretty positive that I have not seen this movie. What does this one say? They say the boy was scared to death. When the death of a child at a boarding school is blamed on a ghost, hoax exposer Florence Cartwright is certain that science and reason can explain it, but the truth she discovers is more terrifying than she could ever imagine, and soon the ghost hunter becomes the hunted. Starring Rebecca Hall, Dominic West, and Imelda Staunton, The Awakening is a terrifying mystery filled with haunting twists that will keep you on the edge of your seat. So yeah, that sounds pretty good, but I have not seen it yet. Just one more of the hundreds of movies I have that I haven't watched yet. Alright, well that's going to do it for this week's videos. Like I said, the movies that I've reviewed already, I'll put the links to those reviews in the description. If there's anything in particular in that stack or in that section that you would like me to review, send me some comments. Leave me some comments about any one of those movies you liked, any requests, any comments in general, whatever you want to say it. I'll answer you. Alright, I'm going to get out of here. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you have been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge favor. Click that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, have a kick-ass day, and thank you for watching. Later, folks.